Third, because Israelis are pragmatic and connoisseurs of American politics, probably the best connoisseurs of American politics, they have probably noticed that the US today is entering, if not in a phase of new isolationism, but at least of perhaps strategic retrenchment. There is a fatigue of 12 years of adventurous wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, the reluctance to start new wars, new military adventures, as shown recently over Syria, the reduction of military expenditures in America, and of course, the fact that the US is moving towards energy self-sufficiency. All of that is probably leading a number of Israeli thinkers to consider that it may not be no longer enough to cultivate only one friend. And my belief is that Europe is part of the future equation for security in this area. Having said all this, going from mutual rediscovery, so to speak, to a true renaissance of European-Israeli relation will not be easy. If I look at French figures, for instance, I am not satisfied. France is only in 13th position as a trading partner to Israel. Our trade is slightly over 1 billion euro and for a little over 2% of Israeli trade. Clearly, it is not enough. In short, we have much work to do. What remains to do is to remove a certain frilosité on the part of certain industries, but much more. We need industries such as Veolia and others and Publicis who've been working here for many years, take the time to understand the country and invest long term. So I very much hope that this will happen because there is a lot of potential cooperation and convergence between French expertise in key infrastructure, for example, water and waste, as Veolia has shown, but also transportation. I'm thinking of certain trains and also Airbus. I'm encouraged through, though, by events such as the one organized today, the forthcoming Day of Innovation, which will be attended by the French president next month. The fact that there's a continuing interest in Israel. My friend and boss, former Prime Minister François Fillon, will also come to visit Israel in January. So I think all this goes in the right direction. Let me end by also stressing that there are also difficulties in the part of Europe as a whole. I have no time this morning, but clearly Europe itself is at a moment in which it has to probably rethink its institution. Rapid enlargement to 28 is threatening Europe with a de facto paralysis. This includes foreign policy as well. It's about time that the new so-called ESDP, European Security Policy, with a new foreign minister for Europe, has to turn from words into facts. We need in Europe also to work at strengthening the root inside the European Monetary Union. All this to say that we are not over the fence yet, and we have quite a lot of work to do in Europe in the next few months and years. Clearly, you may want to watch very closely the result of the European election in June, where I am worried to see a greater divorce between public opinion and European institutions. So there is quite a bit of uncertainties on this area. And yet I remain optimistic. Both Jewish and European history go a long way back. Europe has gone through a lot of trials in history, and European civilization remains today as vibrant and as central to humanity precisely because of the value Mr. Landau recalled earlier, the values of freedom and democracy and human rights. The same goes for Israel-Jewish history. The future now is in our hand. It is in this relationship of building on this complementarity of values and economic interests, sharing knowledge, exchanging youth, education, as we have done so successfully between many French universities, European universities, and Israeli research centers, so that many of our youth can produce this relationship for tomorrow. That's why efforts such as this conference today, organized by Edward here, or institutions like ELNET, the European Leadership Network, run by Harry Maron and Arié on the French side, are very valuable mechanism for developing this knowledge of each other, this rediscovery, and hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, the renaissance, which I believe is necessary between Europeans and Israelis tomorrow in the mutual interest of both sides. Thank you very much for your attention.